this study guide on Simon Armitage, The Manhunt. This is a guide which is going to help you to prepare for your AQA English Literature GCSE, specifically the relationships poetry side of the exam. Okay, we're going to cover a quick overview of what the poem's about. We're going to look at a couple of language devices you could write about in the exam, and also a structural feature and some comparisons. I'm not going to tell you everything you could possibly know about the poem. It's just a few ideas which you could write about in the exam. So first up, The Manhunt. What is it about? Well, we meet a war veteran and presumably his wife. The soldier's been injured by a piece of shrapnel which has gone right through his body. He's returned home after recovering from his injury, and they've had quite a passionate time before they lie in bed together, and the wife traces his scars with her fingers and tries to understand what's happened to him and what's happened to their relationship as a result of what's happened to him. So she considers their relationship and also therefore the work that they're going to have to do and the work that she's going to have to do to restore their relationship to what it once was. Okay, thinking about the structure of this poem, one thing you could write about is the repetition of only then. So if we look at the first three stanzas, after the first phase, after passionate nights and intimate days, only then would he let me trace the frozen river which ran through his face. Only then would he let me explore the blown hinge of his lower jaw. So these words only then are repeated at the beginning of the second and the third stanza. This shows to some degree that the wife has stepped over a barrier in terms of restoring intimacy with her husband. We have the sexual intimacy at the opening of the passionate nights and intimate days. However, it's only after that, only then, that she's able to come close. It's that she's able to really get to understand how he's feeling and begin to restore some of the bonds of intimacy that were there. It's almost as though she needs a sign of permission to touch him. And this shows that gradually they're rekindling their lost relationship as he finally lets her cross over the boundaries of pain and suffering that have been inflicted on him by his wounds. You also would want to be talking about the language of this poem. One quotation you could use is, only then would he let me explore the blown hinge of his lower jaw. The words "let me explore" again show that she somehow needs to gain his permission, despite their sexual intimacy, to explore the damage that's been done to him. The blown hinge is like a door when it's blown open. It won't either open and it won't close. It's somehow stuck in limbo. There's something quite brutal and graphic about the adjectives here as well. And open also suggests his vulnerability, whereas close suggests he won't let the persona into his thoughts or his emotions and won't express his feelings. So you've got this sense that the blown open jaw represents somehow his emotional state. Another language device you could write about is the metaphor of the fetus of metal beneath its chest, where the bullet had finally come to rest. And this is a really interesting metaphor. Comparing to the bullet to the fetus suggests that the persona has somehow come to accept it, but also that it's growing within him. A fetus could be seen as a creation which brings a couple together, not only physically during passionate nights and intimate days that could of course make a fetus, but also emotionally. However, this juxtaposition of the fetus and the new life, and also the coming to rest which represents death, suggests the depression and the hardship that now exists within their relationship. Their relationship has forever been coloured by pain and the fetus of the bullet that's growing within him. And so, yes, there's a new beginning to their relationship here, but it's one that's tainted by pain and suffering. Okay, just a few points you could pick up. There's obviously a lot more in what is a very rich poem. Let's think finally, therefore, about comparisons. You could choose to compare it with the poem Hour. You could explore sensuality, particularly Hour, which is a very sensual sexual poem. In The Manhunt, we have the sensuality, but actually the genuine love and relationship is what comes afterwards. You can compare it with Quick Draw, thinking about the pain that exists within a relationship, or you could compare it with His Coy Mistress, where both of the poets use language to express their persona's feelings about a relationship, something like that. So a few ideas for you. Hope it's been helpful. Don't forget to check out the other videos. Good luck.